All right, today we're talking about the Alpaka Metro Backpack 12 liter. Here's the bag in black. It does come in a few different colors. And as the name suggests, it is a 12 liter backpack. Just gonna take a look at the outside here real quick. So we got some, feels like decent padding on the straps there. A couple of loops on each of the straps. We do not have a luggage pass-through. We do have a top handle up here, which is nice. Another thing to note on the straps is that there is no sternum strap. And then as far as the cord management, there is an elastic cord keeper on the end of each of those. So that's nice. And then the back padding does seem to be a decent amount of back padding there with a deep air channel. Flipping around to the sides, you'll notice there's no external bottle pockets on either side. We do have one quick access compartment up front here. And then just looking on the inside, you can see it's got a pretty open, flat area, and then a couple of slip pockets, and then a couple of smaller pockets for like a pen. We do have here like a little key leash with their magnetic clip system included. And then this does go to the edge right here. So as far as length and width, it goes all the way top to bottom here, and then it goes all the way to the seam right here, just to give you an idea. And then getting into the internal, real quick before we open it, I will note that this does have this kind of flap hanging over the zipper there, which is nice. I do not see weather guarding on the zipper. On the main compartment, doesn't have it on the, actually the quick access pocket does have weather guarding on it. So that's kind of nice. Open it up all the way here. This is not full clamshell opening. It does open, I would say probably 90% down to the bottom on both sides. And then it does have roughly 3 to 4 inches of space at the base. And then talking about internal compartments, so we do have this elastic pocket up top here, and then we do have 2 larger internal compartments here. This side right here is advertised as a water bottle pocket, and then this one is a little bit more on the slimmer side. And then right along the panel towards your back is going to be your laptop sleeve, and it does have like this microfiber material on both this side and on the inside. And then there are 2 smaller, stretchy, pretty slim though, stretch pockets along here. And then again, it is 12 liters. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can fit into the bag. Start off with the 13-inch laptop. You see that fits in there no problem. One thing to note, that this portion of the bag does hang over quite a bit for the laptop. You see it comes out quite a bit, and so depending on how you pack it out, it's going to impact how you access the laptop. You may have to do like a fold over type thing, where you fold it over and you access your laptop that way. But again, that is a 13-inch laptop. And then a couple of slip pockets in here. We'll probably put in a mouse, the Apple Magic Mouse there. Fits in there nicely. And then if you had maybe a charging brick or a cord specifically for your laptop, slip it in right there. I do have most of my items in my tech pouch, but just for reference, a couple of cords, slip into that side. Fits in there nicely. All right, and then we'll go ahead and put a water bottle in that dedicated bottle pocket. It's in there pretty good. One thing to note, without the external bottle pockets, this does take quite a bit of the capacity, and then it is kind of an awkward shape, so it eating on the internal capacity there, you just have to kind of keep that in mind. And then also with any backpack where you're expected to put a water bottle on the inside, you do run the risk of your tech getting liquid on it. So just be very careful, be very wary of that. And if an internal bottle pocket is a deal breaker for you on your backpacks, then there you go. But moving on, the other slip pocket here, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my first aid kit in there. And then up top here, I would say that'd be pretty good for sunglasses, or if you really needed an internal quick access pocket up top, that would work for that. Another thing to note, with the bottle on this side of the bag, you are going to be competing with this external pocket for space. So let's see if we can strategically work around that. Small toiletry kit. My tech pouch remaining, I do have my power brick, my battery bank, some wired headphones, and then do have the external power brick there. Now, depending on how you want to pack this out, you could use more of the slip pockets to get rid of the pouch, or you can just throw everything in the pouch, toss it in the bag. We're gonna try it that way first. Bluetooth speaker. Another charging cord for my Olight flashlight. Leave it in there like that. And as you can see, this is kind of standing on top of my toiletry kit. If I move it slightly, it will go all the way to the bottom. But you can start to see that we are kind of getting into a weird capacity issue to where this bottle pocket is gonna eat up this space here, right? So as soon as you close it, that space is not gonna be available. So it's a little bit deceiving on how you pack it out. But I would say there's a little bit more room up here in the top side, but you will potentially be blocking your access to your laptop, and whatever you put up in this space is also going to be rubbing against your laptop if that matters to you. So something to keep in mind. So I definitely would put something up there that's a little bit softer, maybe a packable jacket, a light rain jacket, or a windbreaker. So I'm gonna kind of leave this area alone for now. We're gonna go into this side pocket. Now I do have various items in this bag here. I just have a couple of hydration packs to add to a water bottle, a couple of snacks, some mints, and a couple of cough drops, and some medicine tablets. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that up there towards the top side because I seem to have a little bit more space up here than down here. This is getting a little bit tight from the internal main compartment. Got some work gloves, those are pretty soft. I'm gonna put those right in here on the side. A couple of pens. Toothbrush. Bluetooth headphones. Packable tote bag. Hero clip. I'm actually gonna put that up right there. And then I actually have a little rescue me tool that I like to keep on my bags. It's basically a quick pull away seatbelt cutter and glass breaker. Some handy if you were to be in an accident, or if you came across an accident and you're willing to help somebody out. This is a handy tool to have on hand. So I like to keep that on my bags that I take with me in my vehicle. All right. I don't have a jacket in there or anything like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and just try to close it up. All right, it is a little bit on the tight side. It is packed in there pretty tight. Again, this is only a 12-liter backpack, but I am able to get in there an internal bottle, my laptop, some of my tech gear, and some daily essentials up in the front. Pretty much all my daily use items. A couple of things that I can't fit in here that I wish I could. Normally when I take my laptop, I take this little lap desk, and what this does is it just helps to flatten out the laptop when I'm working on it, literally off of my lap, and then it has this little pull out for a mouse pad. This is very handy from when I'm needing to work away from home and I don't have a desk space or a counter space and literally have a laptop in my lap. This is very helpful. I could try to slip this in, but it's already pretty tight that I think it would just make it even more. We'll give it a shot. So I am able to get it in, but you'll notice that the zippers are all the way down, and it does stand on its own, which is nice, and it's got this like V-shaped opening going on, right? So there does seem to be a little bit of space right here. So if I were to bring lunch with me, I would think it would go right there, but when you go to try to close it, it's not gonna be able to be closed because the zipper isn't right here. The zipper is actually in more, and this is pretty tight. And even if I didn't have the Tupperware, you can see that the access to the laptop is starting to become very limited, right? So I have my lap desk there, and then my laptop is all the way behind it, and there's no easy way to get it out just by pulling it. But what I would need to do is actually bend the back panel back to then access my laptop, be able to get it out that way and put it back in. That's doable. Let me see if I can close the bag with that lap desk in there. And I am. One other item I was hoping to be able to take, or at least have the ability to put in the pack that I don't currently have in the pack, is a packable jacket. We did mention that I might be able to get it up in this top storage area, but I think we're really reaching its capacity here. Now that is softer than my Tupperware, so definitely more doable. And hey, look at that. You don't know till you try, right? So that is much more doable. And everything is internal. One thing to keep in mind with the bottle being internal, so if you're wearing your backpack, which we'll throw it on now, it is pretty stiff in the back, but I think that just comes with carrying a laptop. And I would say other than that, it's pretty comfortable. The width of the straps is actually really important, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where the shoulder straps are sewed onto the bag, the wider you go this way, depending on your body type, the easier it is for the straps to want to just kind of open up and slide off of your shoulders. And then you would need a sternum strap here. This bag does not have a sternum strap, but also the amount of space in between the strap up here is actually, in my opinion, really good, to where these are not trying to slide off of my shoulders. I'm 5'6", roughly 160 pounds. To give you an idea, I would say that I have pretty maybe average size body type, and these work really well. The padding is good. The back padding is really good. With the laptop being up against this panel, that back padding is really welcome. So again, wearing it is nice and comfortable. One thing to think about is accessing things in the bag while it's on your back. If you were to swing it over your right shoulder, you would have access to this right here, which is one zip away. You'd be able to slip your hand in there and grab items out, whether that's a pen, or you need to grab your pocketable tote, or you want to grab your headphones. That seems very doable. And then I do have most of my little snack pack here. This does make it fatter in this compartment, but if I was willing to separate it out in the individual compartments a little bit better, this compartment would be a little bit flatter and it would be a little bit easier to access those different items. So something to think about when you're packing your bag out. So you can see it's a little bit tight there because this bag is completely packed out. And then depending on the position of your zippers, if you had your zippers on this side, you'd be able to zip up. That's a really good question. I thought I'd be able to pull out my water bottle, but we're gonna swing it around to the other side and see what that looks like. So if you have it on this way, you swing over your left shoulder and you'd be able to do your zipper, but because of the internal bottle pocket is actually a dedicated pocket, you can see, though the bottle is sticking pretty far enough out of the zipper, because it's in that pocket, can't really pull it out. You have to really pull it out this way. And then trying to get that back in may not be easy. It's easy right now, but if you're moving, that may not be easy. I guess you could forego the pocket. It is laying pretty flat if you're not using it, and then you can just have your bottle in there like that, and it actually goes farther down, which is nice and probably a better use of the space. So then if you did have it on your shoulder, you swung it around, wanted to pull it out. In this case, this is one-handed operation. I don't think I would do that if this was gonna be riding on the inside. I probably would get a twist top water bottle that is more secure, more waterproof. You know, take your drink and slip it back in, and then wrangle your zipper back. Maybe not open it all the way the first time, but then you're on your way. So yeah, this again is the Alpaka Metro Backpack 12 liter. Even though it's only 12 liters, it can fit quite a bit of stuff. The only thing that I couldn't fit in that I would have liked to be able to fit in is some food. Since this would be considered a daily carry for me, I'd want to be able to take food for work. Sometimes I take 2 containers, and there's no way that that would fit in here. And then with that lightweight jacket, that rain jacket that I have inside, I am glad I'm able to pack that in there. One thing I'll note too is if you do like this bag, what attracted me to the bag initially was the 12 liter capacity. And I'm gonna be moving to a backpack from a sling bag, and my sling bag is currently 8 liters. And so I wanted to try to travel light, even though I'm carrying more things, right? And the 12 liters really interested me. Now, what I could do, and I am currently looking for ways to make my current gear smaller. So one of the bigger factors in this bag is the water bottle. Because it's internal only, there's no external option. Getting a slimmer water bottle would probably be a really good idea for this bag. The memo bottles come to mind, so a slimmer water bottle might work better. I will look into that for sure. And then your tech. Now, tech isn't inherently a space taking, very bulky, but depending on what you carry, can be bulky. And I'll give you an example. So in my current tech pouch, I have a 65 watt output power brick here for the AC. this is not the smallest item that I can get to do this job. I could probably get one that's half the size. That takes up a little bit of space. Sure, not the biggest problem, but every little bit counts when you're talking about 12 liters. And then my portable power here. This is a 10,000 milliamp hour Anchor battery bank, and this isn't the smallest version of a 10,000 milliamp hour battery bank anymore. I got this a few years ago. This is an older style. It's worked great for me, but if I were to downsize this, I could probably get it half the size. And these days, I might even be able to get away with half of the capacity, maybe a 5,000 milliamp hour battery instead of 10. And then I could cut back on the size on there. And then I do carry 3 different ways to be able to listen to music or my phone or however you want to look at it. I do have a wireless Bluetooth speaker. Now this is already on the small side, but I have 3 ways to listen to stuff. Bluetooth speaker, wired headphones as a backup, and then I do have my wireless earbuds. So even though all these items individually are fairly small, this is 3. And if I really wanted to downsize, I could just go down to 1, save a little bit more space that way. Another way I'm looking at saving some space realistically is my cord management. So my charging cords. Ever since I got this power bank with the wireless pad, I've been trying to be able to use the wireless pad more than the cords so that I only have to pull the bank out and I can use it. So my phone can wirelessly charge. My Bluetooth headphones can wirelessly charge. One way to get these cords out of the bag or smaller is to potentially replace it for something that has multiple USB ends on it. And that's where this guy comes in. This is an in-charge multi USB connector. It is fairly short in length. They do come in longer lengths, but I just got this to test it out. But basically, I can use this and it disconnects here, folds over, USB-C, USB-A, Lightning, USB-C. So now we have a way to connect all those different options and potentially replace this. So going from this to this. So anyways, if you like the 12 liter capacity and some of the items that you're carrying are a little bit bulky, you may be able to downsize in the things you're carrying, not necessarily get rid of them altogether, but just downsize to make this bag work a little bit more efficiently for you. And in my case, I do carry a lap desk. If I didn't do that, I would also have more room in the bag. So things to consider, things I'm working on, but that is the Alpaka Metro Backpack 12 liter. And I would definitely say that this is going to be for a person that is trying to be more minimal, but requires to carry a laptop or even a larger tablet. This is going to be a great bag for you. Materials feel great, feels waterproof. The straps are nice and comfortable. Even though it doesn't have a sternum strap, it does not seem to want to slide off the shoulders, and it being a smaller capacity backpack will force you to carry less, and being lightweight when you're carrying stuff is always a plus. So there you have it. Thanks for watching.